Hi everyone. I thought today I would try to finish or at least work on this moon. If you haven't seen part one, check it out. It is also in a playlist. This is a moon, a tree of life with the moon. I did do this and I ended up with a lot of extra wire, which I will use, but I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do with it. So I have decided that I'm going to put it aside, and I will cut a piece, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to start it and work my way up to this point right here. But before I do that, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Derek and Faithful Bead Artistry for becoming a member to this channel. That helps me out a lot. It really, really does. And they are the only two people that I have as members, but that's okay. It's a good start. So I'm going to continue on using 22 gauge wire, and the way I'm going to measure it, if I can find the end, here we go. I will be going from side to side, so it will be one piece, and I don't know how it's going to work out, but we'll find out together. So let's see. I need for it to be able to go, if it doesn't reach, that's okay, because we can always cut another piece. So what I'm going to do actually is go from where this is connected. I'm not going to disconnect because I will pick it up, and then I might even be able to use this, and if not, I will cut it and we can use it someplace else if we have to fill it in. So for now, I need it to be able to go from side to side twice for each pass. So I'm just going to measure out some. Don't really know how many times I'm going to go around it or how big the space is going to be. But after I do this, as you can see, it's just very random. Okay, so I'm thinking about this much wire, and I think it's definitely more than what I need, but that's okay. So what it actually comes out to, let's see, if I measure it from where this piece of wire, this bunch of wire ends to the bottom, now we have to consider the inside of the hoop is the moon as well. Well, that's how I measured it, and I'm just not going to mess with it because I'm going to get a kink. So let's cut this and let's connect it. I was thinking about using a slip knot, but then I have to work with two pieces, and I really only want to work with one. So I think what I'll do, the way I'll connect this, okay, right now I really don't know yet. Let me think. Okay, I think I know. We're going to go right through the moon, like that. I'm going to bring it over, and I think I'm definitely going to put a bead there. Oops, almost dropped them. I think I'll put a 6mm because that's a big space, and it's on the tip of the moon, and I think that we could cover that up a little bit. So let's just slide. Let's just wrap that around first, like that. Now I'm going to bring it through, and I'm going to take that, and I'm actually just going to slide this under some of these. It won't come undone. You won't be able to see it. Let's just see how far we can go with it. And I'll pull it so that it ends up on the underside. Let me just grab my pliers here. I'm going to just turn it over, and I'm going to slide it again under the next one. I turned it over because I can go in that space, whereas I can't just slide it under that. So this might take a minute, but that's okay. You only have to do it once for now. And I don't want this to be extra super long, meaning how long it takes to finish this beautiful moon. So I'm going to just try and grab that. Oops. Just hold on to that. And we'll call that good enough. There is a little kink in it, and that's okay. I'm just going to clip that off because we're going to go right over it. And you won't even be able to see that wire. Okay, so now let's take this long piece and I'm going to put one 6mm rondelle onto it. Let's just slide it down. I'm going to place that right on the tip like this. Now I'm going to take this wire and bring it back up. And now we're ready to go. So what I'll do, I'll pause. I'm going to load up some beads on this, and then I will come back and show you what I hope to accomplish and what's actually going to happen. We're going to find out together. Okay, well, I think I had a change of plans, and I will explain to you why. I did put beads, crystals on my wire, and I think that if I string them, I think that it may appear that the moon will be overdone. I want it to stand out, but because the tree is so massive and so beautiful, I think that it will take away the effect of the moon if I put too many crystals on it. So that's what I'm not going to do. I could start over again, but I'm sharing my thought process with you because it's just the way I work. And I'm going to shut this notification sound off. Apologize. Hopefully that worked. I don't think it did, but we'll see. Anyway, we're going to carry on. So what I decided to do, instead of lacing and putting way too many bicones on here, I think it'll take away from the tree. Instead, we're going to lace it again, but this time we're going to go on the inside. So I do have that 6mm right there, and I want it to stay there. I don't want to have a traffic jam of wire, so I'm going to just drop this bicone right there on the inside. You can see that? Now I'm just going to hold it there, and I'm going to go in between the next two right here, and that should also help hold them in place. I'm going to slide them down. I'll make a few passes before I pull all the wire through so that I don't get all tangled. We'll see if this is going to work, and I think it will. Give it a little pull, and now we need another bicone, so I'm going to drop it right here on the inside, and now I'm going to pass this wire in between those two bicones. So I'm just going to hold them in place, wrap it in between those two, and now I am getting wrapped around my hoop. I will in a minute undo that, but let's continue on so you can see the process. It will get easier as I go. The wire will become shorter. I'm going to drop another bicone right there so that they're opposite each other. It'll bring more to the frame of the moon without overkill. That's the plan. So let's do it again. Just going to bring some slack on my wire. I'm still going to hold on to those, and with my finger support it from behind. Give it a little tug. See, now what it's done is also helped tighten these up because I'm pressing on that wire. So I'll drop another bicone like that. I'm going to hold on to it and take this wire and go in between the next two like that. See? Now we have the outline on the outside, and we're doing it on the inside. So when we get back down here, it's going to fill in, and then it's going to have a nice uncrowded look. That's the hope. Let's see what we can come up with. So far it's not hard. I'm going to drop another bicone. And again, go right in between the next two. I'm going to go in between each one that's already on the outside of my moon. Now I'm going to pull it. Notice I'm still holding this one here. When I come back to the end over here, I'll try and secure that a little bit better. I'm going to take this and go right through again in between the next two. Bring this down, and we're going to continue that. I'm just going to untangle all of this, and then we'll carry on. As I untangled it from passing through the hoop, the moon, I'm just going to make another little bundle like I did over here with all that extra wire that we will use, and then this long piece that we may trim. I don't know yet. Let's see how far we can go with this. This should also help pass it through without the tangle. So now again, I'm just going to grab on where I left off. I have that bicomb right there in the middle on the underside. I'm going to wrap that through, give it a nice little pull, and then just take my nice neat little bundle. Let's see if we can keep it nice and neat, make it easy. I'm going to slide down another bicomb, bring this through those two, and we're just carrying on. I hope you can see what the plan is and what the effect is. I think that will look absolutely stunning without taking away from the pretty tree. If you haven't watched the tree tutorial, check it out, because I did things a little bit differently. It was definitely not hard. Actually, it was kind of easy. I may use that again. I will be using that pattern again. Instead of just stringing, I like the look of this with the leaves without actually having to make them outside and blend them in. However, with that being said, I do have a project ready for the next tutorial. I have a beautiful, if you haven't seen my playlist, I did do a tree of life in a natural grapevine leaf, and that one there was very messy and a little bit difficult. But I have, and it was purchased at Hobby Lobby, a heart shape. It's metal with metal birds on it, but it looks like a grapevine leaf. Now I've run out of bicones. I'm going to reload this, and then I'll be back. Okay, I did put a little fan on over here because I'm warm and I'm fogging up my beads. Okay, so what I'm going to show you now, this wire is not too much longer than what I need. This one here is the shorter. Actually, we're going to work with this one. We have two wires that are connecting. We're going to take the one that is the shortest and slide it underneath the inside of the hoop, and then we'll carry on with the longest piece. So before we jump the gun, again, I'm going to pick my work back up and just adjust that. Slide that bicone down and take my wire. Need a little bit of slack so I can go in between the next two that are already existing on my hoop, like that. Now I'm going to pass this through. Again, a little bit of slack, drop a bicone right there. Now notice you have two on the side, and now you have one in between those two. Kind of keep it even. I'm going to support that. I'm going to just wrap this through the next two on the outside of my frame. Now I'm going to pass this little bunch, slide them down, and I'm going to just keep doing that one at a time. I'm going to drop that bicone down, wrap that wire in between the two, right there and there on the outside of the hoop, and bring it back through. Again, and still pay attention to my hands. Hold on to your work. I know that sounds, I don't know, right now, I just want them to stay as pretty as they are. So I'm just going to have some good habits. Drop my bicone, hold on to it, take this wire and go in between the two on the outside of the hoop. I'm going to do it a few more times. I'm going to try and get a little bit closer, and then I'll pause you. There we go. Drop that bicone right like that. Hold on to it. Take the wire, go in between the next two that are on the outside of the hoop like that. Now I'm going to pass that back through. Give it a little bit of slack. Drop another one. Now you can see you have to go forward, go up one, go in between the next two bicones on the hoop, like that. And there you have it. Pretty easy. So I'm going to carry on, and then I'll come back when I think it's appropriate, when I get to that other wire, and show you how I'm going to clip it, and then carry on with the wire I have left over from the first part of lacing the outside of this moon. So I will be back. Okay, so I don't want to leave you hanging, but I did make it to, if you saw part one, I over measured my wire, but I left it there, and I'm so glad that I did this. So what I will do now, this one here is not long at all in comparison. So what I'll do, you can see, I'll clip that off, but it's long enough to save. And I'll clip it about here, because I can always come back and clip it some more. What I'm going to do now is take this wire and go, it has to go above because I can't fit it beneath the wire. So I'm going to go through the bulk of the next wire right here, the one that we're going to go over, and I'll do it again. We're going to go over it anyway, and it will not come undone because it can't. So let's pull that through again, and now I will clip it again. And I'm pretty confident that it will look okay. So what I'm going to do now, this is what we'll be using next. And this was left over from part one, and we should be able to get around this, if not completely, pretty much enough so that we can carry on. What I'll do now, I do have a little bit extra, but I want to pick up with this long bundle because I can't move it up. So what I'll do is take my beads off. Oops, I don't want them to go flying again. And I'll cut it right about there so that I can tuck it underneath. I'm going to slide these off and save the rest of this for later. So what I'm going to do, just like we did a minute ago, I'm going to take this wire, I'm going to slide it up under the next two or so, and then I'm going to bead this one up, and then I'll be back. But just to show you, I think I'm only going to do this one once. Give it a little tug. Oops, not that tight. Like that. And I think I'll just bead right over that. I'm gonna clip it a little bit right at that bend, I'm not going to try and slide it up anymore. It's already under once. So I think I'll just clip it right here. Flatten that up. I'm going to bead this one on, bead it up, and then I'll be back. So from here on in, we're just going to repeat the same process with the rest of this, and that should be enough to go around the entire shape of my moon. I'll be back. Okay, I have a lot more wire left over than I thought that I would, and that is with the one from part 1. So what I did, I went around, put a 6mm rondelle there, and then repeated the same process all the way around. I actually beaded up a lot more. I don't need all that, so what I'm going to do now is just clip my wire. This will be saved. It is definitely long enough. I'm not going to, let's see. I'll take some of these off. I just want to show you how I'm going to end it. If you've made it through, drop me a comment. Let me know you stuck around, because as soon as I'm done right here, I'm going to slip in a sneak peek of the next project. If you happened to have either watched or saw in the playlist the Tree of Life in a Grapevine wreath, you will appreciate the next one. So I'm going to finish up here, and when I get to the end, I'll be back. Okay, now we're at the end of the project. I dropped my last bicone right there. I'm going to take this wire, pass it through the same way we've been doing. So the placement of this bicone, let me just move that, is on the underside. I'm going to bring my wire up, go in between the next two like we've been doing. Now I'm going to bring it back down, but I'm going right up into the middle of the tip of the moon. I actually could have cut this a little bit shorter, but we're going to get rid of it in 2 seconds. So now let's flip her over and see what we got. Okay, so what I'll do now, I need to cut this a little bit, but not so much that I can't grasp. Let's cut it off about here. I have to find a spot where I can slide this wire in between the wire. Let me show you. Because it can't go underneath, it won't pass through, so I have to slide it in a space between the wire and a bead, and then I'll come back, I can even do that right here, around the whole entire project, and then just give them all a little pinch, close up any spaces. So I'm going to take this one now, I'm going to pass it right through the one that has the 6mm rondelle on it. I'll grasp it on the end if I can. Oh, I pulled that up a little bit, that's alright, we'll fix it. I just want to bring this down, put that back. I'll flip it over in a minute and show you. It'll be fine. Now I just want to pass it down one more time and find a space right down, right behind that bicone. But I also don't want the bicone to move, so there we go. And I think I'll bring it up and go through the space of this one. This will just ensure me that it's not going to slide. This wire is not going anywhere. There we go. I'm going to hold on to it and just give it a little tug. And I think I can cut it now. Actually, let me flip it over and make sure. I think I'll bring it up. and I'll pass it down one more time. So I want to make sure it looks good on the front, and there we have it. Now I'll just flip it again, clip off this little wire, then I'll come back with my tweezers, and anything that is sticking up or a space that I don't like, I'll tap down. And there we have it. So this concludes part 2 and the final part of the moon. Now I have a treat. Let's take the tree that is to go inside of the moon. Let me see if I can showcase that for you. I will take a video of it, and I think it's quite beautiful. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments, because now I'll show you what to look forward to. Here's a sneak peek of the next project. If it reminds you of the tree of life I made in a grapevine wreath, this one here is going to be even more beautiful because it has that look without the mess. We'll be using aluminum wire. We'll be using, I think, 18 for the roots. We'll have to wait and see. So maybe some Casey gold. Maybe I'll twist it out two-toned, or maybe I'll just put some bird nests in there. But this one here is going to be a beauty. Bye, guys. For this part of the tutorial, we're going to just pull it all together. It's some stuff that I have from previous projects. I have a key ring. I'm going to have to put a jump ring here because I'm not going to cut it, so let's just put this right onto the key ring because that's where it's going to hang from. Take 2 pair of pliers and close the jump ring. The reason I'm doing it like this, it's going to hang like that, and that jump ring will keep it nice and flat. Now let's see where we want it to actually hang from. It's going to be a little tricky inside of the space, but we can do this. Gotta figure out how long of a piece of chain I need from here to the moon. So what we'll do is just, I cut this for a different project. We'll just take that off, this off. Save everything. I'm going to shorten this up probably as well, but let's see. Because this is a paper clip chain, I'm going to put a jump ring through the chain, and I'm going to connect it to the top of my tree. I'm going to eyeball and see where I think is the middle. If I have to move it, I'll move it. I'm going to open this up just a little tiny bit more. Another easy way to tell if you have the middle, let me just take this little piece of wire here. Just take a piece of wire, poke it into what you believe could potentially be the middle, and then hold it up in front of you, because that's where it's going to hang, and that is not the middle. So I'm going to move it over. This right here may be the middle, but because we have such big spaces, it might be before that bicone or after it. I'm going to look first, and then I'll show you. Okay, now I'm going to have to move it over one more time, and I'll show you why in a minute. That's straight enough to me. So your jump ring can't go in a big space because it'll slide and it will take your tree out of the middle. So by hanging it, holding it with this wire, oops, did I go through the leaf? I did. We don't want that. We'll break it. We'll pass it through that space and then hold it up. I can either put the jump ring before this bicone so that it can't really slide too much, or after it. And I think, let's see, oh, actually, it does appear that this would be the spot before that bicone. So what I'm going to do is just put my jump ring onto my hoop and hope it can't jump that bicone, and if it does, I'll get a smaller jump ring. Hopefully that won't happen, but it might. I just like these jump rings because these are super heavy duty and this is a heavy project. I'm going to take away my marker. And let's see. Sorry, I have to hold it up for me first, if I can tell. I think that'll work. Now I have to figure out where I want, how long I want it to be. And this is not flat, but I don't think I want it that far away. I'm thinking like right there. So if I take that one out, okay, I think I will cut that one and then use a jump ring. Hopefully it's not too short. Oh, and if it is, we'll fix it. Actually, I think I should figure out where to attach it to the moon so that it doesn't slide on me. And I want to keep it this distance. I actually think it should have been a little bit longer. Maybe not. Let's try it and see, guys. I think that might be the right spot. I don't know yet. We'll see. I was going to do this without you, but hopefully it doesn't take too long. And this way here, you have an idea of what I'm doing. And if I can't do it with you, I will post it after I'm done. Okay, I have to hold it up in front of me again. I think I would like it to go right there. Sorry for the sniffles. It has become a thing. Alright, I'm just going to put this right there so I know. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. After the fourth one, just in case. This seldom works for me on the first try. If it does, wonderful. If it doesn't, I will fix it and then I'll show it to you afterwards. Oops, not like that. Okay. Now I just want to make sure that it stays in between the two. see if I can close this up. I need one more hand. All right, let's try this. A little bit more. Ooh. That's enough. All right, now let's just take a look. Will it work? I believe it will. The only thing is I have to figure out where I'm going to put that other chain. And in order for it to hang properly, let's see if I can show you. It has to be further back from the top. Because if I do it right here, it's not going to hang right. I'm going to figure it out. Okay, so with this moves around too much. So I think what we're going to have to try to do is get rid of the chain and with one jump ring attach it to the hoop. But I don't know if it'll make it. The only way to do it is to separate it and find out. Okay, I removed the other jump ring and the chain. I put a piece of wire here as a marker. Now I'm going to try to just attach this tree to this jump ring, and hopefully it'll work. And if it does not, then I'm going to have to wire it, which isn't my choice, my preference, but we'll do whatever we have to do to make it work. All right, oops. I have it on. There's one. There's a piece of the jump ring. There's the other one. Let's see if I can just close them together, which I did. Now I'll have to hold it up and see if it works. Does it work? Oops, it does not. Plan B. Okay guys, this is a little bit of a challenge. What I've done is I've put 2 6mm rondelles onto the wire. Both wires go through the middle. That leaves me enough space to go around the top. And hopefully, if I attach it at one other spot, I'm just going around the neck of this above that top 6mm bead below the moon, and I have to be careful not to cut any wires other than these 2. So what I'm basically doing is just attaching it the same way I do a branch to the top of the hoop. I hope that explains it. Will it work? I don't know. We'll find out together. And I'm just going to push those 2 little wires down. You can have some movement, but not too much. I don't want it spinning. Let me just see if I can close that up a tiny bit more. There we go. Yeah. Now I'm afraid to move it. All right, let's see. Because this is not a flat surface, I'm going to have to move it back to a flat surface, I think. No, actually, no, I don't know. I'm sorry that this is taking a little bit longer than what I thought, but after considering doing it and not showing you, I decided to stick it out. I put another wire right here, and I put both of these wires through another 6mm rondelle, and I'm going to bring it right back up through this space right here. I might have to attach it one more spot, and that would be further down. I'm just kind of hoping that it will provide enough stability that it won't move because it is in the middle. So let's try and do it the same way I did over here. Now that I've gone around the hoop, I'm going to take these 2 wires, pass them down. I just have to be mindful of the wire that is connecting the bicones, because if I pull on it too hard, I'm going to break that wire, and then the whole thing will come undone. Then I'll cry, and then I'll fix it. All right. Let's just check one more time. That is going to work. I just have to make sure that the space is perfect. I just don't know if I want to put another one down here. I may have to. But before I do that, let's just end this one. I'm going to do it at the top. Now I'm going to bring it back down through the space right here. Like that. And grab both of them. Being mindful of my bicones and that little wire. I'm going to go underneath, behind the upper part of this 6mm bead. Now, looking, I can bring it up here. I'll show you why. That's why I said you gotta be a little bit careful. Like I said, I'm learning as I go with you. I have not done it a moon with this big of a moon. The last one I did was the one that is the fall one. It's in a playlist with the moon. Here we go. So these 2 wires will fit right through these 2 bicones. Here is where I'm going to cut. Do I want to go around one more time? I think I do. I'm going to pass them back down. I think it'll just add a little bit more stability, hopefully. I'm going to bring them back up through that same big space right here. I will do whatever it takes to make this project work and show you to the best of my ability how I'm doing it. Now I'm gonna, I hope this is gonna work. Maybe. It looks like it's gonna be tricky. But as long as I can push those down beneath the hoop above that bead, it doesn't look like there's enough space. If not, I'll undo it and only have it go around 1 time instead of 2. I'm going to take a chance and grasp it with my pliers and give it a tug. If it does not want to go, I think it might not. I think it's too thick. It does not want to go. I am not going to force it. Instead, I'm going to pass it back down. I got to flip it. Alright, I pulled it back up. Instead, what I undid is going down and bringing it up again. This is the first pass. And the only thing I can do right now is clip it and see how it goes. Try and push those 2 down. I can run a zigzag wire. I'd rather not if I can make this work. But like I said, if I have to, I will do whatever it takes. I don't want to post this if it doesn't work. Oops, that didn't work. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I got this now. I can see it wants to go. Alright, now let's just see. How sturdy are we? I gotta hold you up. Do we need to do one more? We do. Oh boy, oh boy. We're gonna do another one right here. So I'm gonna have to get a piece of marker wire and going to cut a piece off of this piece. I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm just going right now through the first hoop. I'm going to bring it up and put on my beads. Okay, so I have it connected only to the inner hoop, this one, the tree hoop, and I have one 6mm rondelle, same as over here, and up here I have two. So now I'm going to just slide that down best I can and use it as a spacer. Now I'm going to wrap it around the hoop. I'm going right in between here. See, this will fit right there in that space. Will it work? Well, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Okay, now I'll take these two wires, bring them right back up through. No, they're not together. Come on, behave. There we go. Right through that big space, because this way here I can slide it over. And I don't think so. I think I need it to come up, not under this hoop. I think maybe above it, or maybe not. I don't know. No, I'm going to leave it right there. Now I'm going to take these two wires, and let me get my tweezers. I'll show you. I'm going to take these two and pass it over the one that's attached to the tree hoop. I'm going to pass those two down like that, only because it seems to be working, or has the potential to work. And now you can see that, you can see right here, this is why I wanted to move it. So I'll just move it with my finger, and I bring this up and then cross over and join those two wires so that there's not that big space, hopefully. Like that. I'm not even going to hold it up. I'm just going to cut this wire and keep my fingers crossed that I don't have to do another one down here. They're certainly strong enough. Okay, now I'm just going to pass my tweezers over these two wires like this and twirl them right around the neck that I've created below the rondelle, above the hoop. Same as when you connect your branch of your tree to your hoop, the way I do it, and that seems to work best for me. In this case right now, let's lift it and see. I'll hold it up first. And it worked. All right, now let's check with this. A couple of jump rings, some more chain, and the pendant. Let me pause for a minute. I've gone ahead and put a jump ring through my pendant, and I have 3 lengths of the paperclip chain. The reason for that is I have to be able to put a jump ring here and attach it to the hoop so that it hangs like this and not like that. We want it to lie flat. So unlike with other chains, you have to play with the chain link, the paperclip chain, but it works. Just have to mess around a little bit. Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to put it right in between these two. I don't know why. It just looks like it's a good spot. And is it in between the both? We'll try it and see, and if it's not, I'm going to have to fix it. that is not quite good enough. I don't want to replace the jump ring. I just want to make this close properly. Oops, sorry for that noise, guys. Well, it's not coming off, that's for sure. Now, let's see. One more time, let me lift this up. Now, I'll look at it. Well, it certainly is pretty enough. So now, I feel like I'm bouncing you all around, but unfortunately, this is part of what I have to do to complete this project. Now, let's move those. We need the marker wire to figure out where to attach this. We know that it has to be in a place that it'll hang straight. So I'm gonna put the marker wire on and then we'll do it together. Okay, I did trim this down a little bit. I did put a marker wire right here. I believe that is where it'll hang properly. I don't want to take that off, but I'm gonna have to. I just hope I don't lose my spot. Right there in between those two bicones. Oh, not that one. The back one here. I'm sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. There. Now let's just drop this on. Hopefully I can close this up and we'll have completed the last step of this project. Oops, that's not gonna work. I'm stuck. Alright, now let's try it. I'm trying to hold it in between bicones. I am so sorry for that noise. I would like to close it a little more. Regardless, I don't think the chain can come through, but I'm not going to take that chance and have my project fall. There. I think we have it. That's not going to open. Okay, I'm going to just hold it up one more time. Doing a little inspection. Looks good to me. I will do a short little clip of it, and then you can tell me what you think of the final project. As always, guys, thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I look forward to the next project that looks like a grapevine wreath in a heart from Hobby Lobby. We'll see you for the next one.